Hi, YouTube. It's your girl Lori. I hope Tuesday is good to you and treating you well, and you are in good spirits. I am in the Midwest, and it is 7 degrees outside, and it is cold as can be. The wind is telling you who is the master, who's in control, but also I'm praying and I'm sending much blessings, and I'm sending love to the people that have to deal with the evacuation in California because of the fires. So I am so praying for all of you. I hope that you get better, meaning the situation gets better in California, and that you have the resources to get what you need if you had to evacuate. I honestly believe that, it will get better, but I understand that those things take time to get under control. But I'm sending much prayers over there to California. But today I wanted to talk to you about something, guys. You know, I had to pop up here and I look like a college student. Oh, baby, them blueberries and them vegetables be working that face, baby, working that face, working that face, working that face. But anyway, I came here to discuss some things that were on my mind and that were been, just a little uh, attention brought to my attention. Not somebody physically, but in the ethers. I'm very intuitive. I know things that are going on. So I'm going to discuss this because everything doesn't need to be discussed. But why not? I decided just to do this, just for the heck of it, anyways. But I would like to say this. Yesterday we celebrated Martin Luther King's birthday, and I understand that Sunday was Trump's inauguration, and all is well with their family, and that's all I have to say about that. But I wanted to talk about my postings of Martin Luther King birthday. First of all, everybody knows that I am a history kind of geek-ish. I go and visit the places and I read about the places and I know my stuff for the most part. And I like history perspectives about different things because you learn a lot. You got to go back in history and you learn the things that you need to learn. Just like in my life, I had to go back into, whether you are talking to a therapist or somebody that you trust. You talk about childhood issues so that you won't repeat them, and you can learn from those mistakes and understand that certain things you don't have to bring in your adult life, and you don't have to utilize them like you did when you was a child. But in this situation, I know I'm on a tangent, but I'm going somewhere with this. But when I talked about Black history, I think Black history starts with Martin Luther King's birthday personally. But I understand that it is in February, but I start mine on the 20th when his birthday is here. But I understand too that some people have a different perspective about, Martin Luther King and what he represented to me, but that's not my business. My business is, what has he sacrificed for my community? And he has sacrificed himself. He's died under the he died for my rights. So I'll always honor him, whether it's JF Kennedy, whether it's Malcolm X, many, many more. Shirley Chisholm, all of the rest of them that really support Ginsburg. I like her too. She was very much into being fair and creating a society that was a little bit more about the people and understanding what's going on. But let's talk about Martin Luther King. So the posting I posted yesterday was about his speech, the mountaintop speech, and Black is Beautiful or something like that. But the point was to, again, honor him. Now, I understand that with certain things, we can't pretty him up. I understand that the language might have been uncomfortable for some, but with 2025 and what the music is and all those different things that we listen to that are not so nice on YouTube, that is a historical document, that is a historical piece that really talked about and captured what the environment was at that time. And unfortunately, it was hostile. It was hostile because people wanted to fight for their rights. And if you can't understand that, then that's not my problem. I don't know why I have to do this every Black, either Black History Month or every Martin Luther King when I put things out there, and my stuff is pretty tame. I try to, respect YouTube's platform and what their rules are as far as posting things. But I just wanted you to see that he was somebody that was very important to the African American community, and he, to me, was the essence of manhood. He was not a perfect man, as we all know, just like Malcolm X was not a perfect man. JF Kennedy definitely wasn't a perfect man, and many, many more were not perfect men and women. There are some women out there with very good leaders, but they weren't perfect. And I understand that. I give them the humanist part. But when it comes to masculinity, I think he touches on it because he took care of the people of the community. He was a leadership role in his community. He stood for something that meant something, that would build something, because men are supposed to build and they're supposed to protect. And to me, he captured the essence of what masculinity is to me. Okay. So if that time period bothered you, you might have needed some more historical perspective. It wasn't just white people. I'm not just picking on them. I'm talking about some of these males out here, African American men. If you felt uncomfortable with that video and me posting that, unfortunately, you're going to have to look at how you present yourself as a man in 2025. That's my idea of what masculinity is. I don't go trying to tell people who they should and should not be. Okay? That's not my business, and that's not ever my intention to show you or to display to you what masculinity. I just don't date it if it doesn't fit my idea of what masculinity is. Okay? And the way it is showed and displayed is important to me about masculinity. But if you have a problem with that video being posted out there, that is going to have to be something that you're going to have to work on yourself. And I'm not going to, unfortunately, in 2025, there is a weakened system, I feel, that needs to be more developed in masculinity. And because it's not developed, where everything is about his body parts and sex, and it's never nothing really concrete where he becomes a whole person when he comes into a relationship, and to try to create balance between the female and the masculine genders. There's no balance in that. It's always an imbalance, and it's always sexual in nature to me when I see these different images of what masculinity is. But we all have something to work on. We have something to grow, and hopefully that'll be something that in the future that we can work on and build to be more concrete, as far as men having more self-esteem, more leadership, more about trying to create a unit with the female species and vice versa. And we can kind of, develop a more just a more workable relationships, structure for each other, and where it won't be so much conflict about what gender should be, shouldn't, and whatever it is, because you can't keep the pimp and hoe culture going. It is collapsing. And with that video I was putting out there, I didn't even think of it when I put it out there. I looked at the fact that he stood so much on conviction on what he thought was the truth, and I really respected that. But one of the things he mentioned in the video, he said, "You don't let anybody take your manhood." And that was such a powerful statement. He's talking from 1965, I think it was 1960, something like that, when the video was presented or made. He was very strong in masculinity, what it meant to be a man, and the legacy men have, the responsibility to keep it going. And it has not changed, no matter how we try to dilute what the image of masculinity should look like. There's a battle of masculinity anyway. So with that said and done, the men that got offended about that, that's not my concern. You have to work on your own identity as a man and how you show up in relationships, how you show up to the world, just as much as the females have to do as well. You understand? So that video was about honoring him. Get out of you and back into the fact that we're honoring a man that really has put so much put so much positive things out, because with the civil rights movement, what ends up happening is it opened up doors for other movements to take place and have a stage for their rights and what they want and what they choose to have for themselves. So I think that you should, yeah, work. Nobody is, that was not attack on, there's another thing too, attack on a particular race, because most people like Martin Luther King more than they like Malcolm X. Majority, whether whites, blacks, across the board, because they relate him to Mahatma Gandhi. Well, Gandhi, I'll just say Gandhi because I can't pronounce his name. I forgot. Mahatma Gandhi or something like that. But Gandhi is more similar to, they connect him to Martin Luther King, like a Mother Teresa, if you want to do the female version of it. But like I said, the reality of it is these things are not going to be packaged in a pretty ribbon and a pretty like a Christmas gift, a real beautiful gift that you give, because some of these things were painful. So the messaging, the information may not be agreeable to some, and that's okay. But the reality, it is a truth of what happened. It was a truth of it captured everything that was going on during that time period. And talking about the JFK, you should go to Dallas, Texas, and see. I got a chance to, because I'm a history buff, I got a chance to go to where he was shot at, where the guy went up there and up on this Dallas is like a mausoleum kind of atmosphere. It's like a cemetery, quiet, like a funeral type of thing. It's almost like you're reliving the experience. They have the video clips, and you stand at the window. We guests stand at the window to see where he was actually shot at. It was a powerful piece to see when JFK had the parade. He was going down the street, and the person shot him. So those are ugly things that are happening, that has happened in our culture. So is human experience. You have the good and the bad. So some of us need to, I would suggest, to take off the rose-colored glasses. It does not work in this culture. And plus, those things have helped us go to be the betterment of society. No matter how harsh it is, it helps us to better our society and see where we can go wrong, and see what we need to fix, see what we can improvise and make better. That is the whole point of looking at history and seeing how far we came, to see how far we came. So again, those men that got offended by that video clip about how he defines masculinity, I have nothing to do with that. That was something that was in honor of Martin Luther King on his special day, because he shed blood. He was killed for my rights, and I honor him to the core. Do something that's esteemable, and that is esteemable in your community. Do something esteemable in your household that brings unity and love to your family. And yeah, just be a better man. And hopefully, those things won't bother you. But I'm wishing everybody a positive day. And that video was about honoring someone that meant so much to us. Positive vibes, everybody. Be good to you. Bye-bye.